So these administrators and satraps went as a group to the king and said, "May King Darius live forever. The royal administrators, prefects, satraps, advisors, and governors have all agreed that the king should issue an edict and enforce the decree that anyone who prays to any god or human being during the next 30 days, except to you, your majesty, shall be thrown into the lion's den. Now, your majesty, issue a decree and put it in writing so that it cannot be altered, in accordance with the law of the Medes and Persians, which cannot be repealed." So King Darius put the decree in writing. Now, when Daniel learned that the decree had been published, he went home to his upstairs room, where the windows opened towards Jerusalem. 3 times a day he got down on his knees and prayed, giving thanks to his God, just as he had done before. Then these men went as a group and found Daniel praying and asking God for help. So they went to the king and spoke to him about his royal decree. "Did you not publish a decree that during the next 30 days, anyone who prays to any god or human being except to you, your majesty, will be thrown into the lion's den?" The king answered, "The decree stands in accordance with the law of the Medes and Persians, which cannot be repealed." Then they said to the king, "Daniel, who is one of the exiles from Judah, pays no attention to you, your majesty, or to the decree you put in writing. He still prays 3 times a day." When the king heard this, he was greatly distressed. He was determined to rescue Daniel and made every effort until sundown to save him. Then the men went as a group to King Darius and said to him, "Remember, your majesty, that according to the law of the Medes and Persians, no decree or edict that the king issued can be changed." So the king gave the order, and they brought Daniel and threw him into the lion's den. The king said to Daniel, "May your God, whom you serve continually, rescue you." A stone was brought and placed over the mouth of the den, and the king sealed it with his own signet ring and with the rings of his nobles, so that Daniel's situation might not be changed. Then the king returned to his palace and spent the night without eating and without any entertainment being brought to him, and he could not sleep. Greeting, guys. It is me here with a message of the kingdom of heaven. Guys, this one was too long. Nevertheless, guys, I'm not used to reading from the old covenant. Yes, it came from our Lord, from Daddy, but I'm not used to, because you see, with the old covenant, guys, people have confused things, because of picking and choose, because of the nature of the covenant. You see, guys, the nature of the old covenant is not the same with the nature of the new covenant. So the Old Testament and the New Testament, they are not the same. The nature of the Old Testament is not the same, because the Old Testament is for spiritually dead people. You understand? People who were off the earth. You understand? People who were given the blessings of the earth because they were off the earth and they were dealing with Daddy. But the new one is for the people who belong to the kingdom of heaven, people who are spiritually alive. You understand? People who have a covenant with the Son. You understand? So the nature is not the same. That's why Jesus will say, "It was said, now I'm saying. It was said, now I'm saying." So the laws, contradict one another because of that. So when you quote from both covenants, thinking that you're clever, you find people, quoting from Deuteronomy 28, they will tell you about earthly blessings. That's why Satan is able to destroy the church like this, here on earth. The beast is busy in churches because of that, because people decided to be clever, decided to be let me not continue. Nevertheless, guys, because of that, Satan was able to get in, because he understands that the natures of these covenants is not the same. So when you pick and choose, you are actually destroying yourself. For instance, guys, if you apply for a job today and they appoint you and you sign a contract, and then after 6 months or a year you get a promotion, obviously you'll get a new contract with new times, new duties, as well as new salary. So you can't take the old contract and the new contract and say, "Well, I'm picking this time from that one because I was going to work at 8, now I'm going to work at 6. Oh, well, I'm picking this new contract salary because it's 10, that one is 5. Oh, well, I'm picking the old duties because they were easier, not this one." I mean, that's just upset. You understand? So it's the same thing, when you pick and choose. So people don't know when to strike a balance. You know, it's okay if the commands are not contradicting. You see, guys, whatever you're quoting from the old, make sure it doesn't contradict the new. If it contradicts the new, take the new. If you still don't understand, stick with the new, because the new is for children, but the old is for servants, people who are spiritually alive. I mean, people who are spiritually dead, and people, guys, who are sealed with the blood of animal. We are sealed with the blood of Jesus. I don't know, guys, I wanted to get this thing out, you understand? So I hardly quote from the Old Testament because of that, because I don't want to confuse you. I don't want to confuse you. I might understand, but I don't want to confuse people. You understand? So it's better to just stick. But here I decided to quote, but I'm not taking anything from it. You know what? Actually, in short, here, because the Israelite guys were really, really stubborn, you know, and were really, really disobedient. So Daddy will often, you know, cause other kings to take them captive and stuff and what. So here, a part of Israelites were captured by Nebuchadnezzar, you understand, as part of punishment, you know. But Daddy always kept, you know, the new generation, you know, and allowed the old to suffer, because the old ones they actually decided to disobey him because they knew his laws. But the new ones were actually learning from their hypocrite parents, you know, hypocrite elders. So they would be captured and all and come back and stuff, you know. Things happened, you know, with the old covenant. Nevertheless, here this guy Daniel, you know, he was actually a very good dreamer. You know, he was a different prophet, you know, a good one at that. So they were also captured, you know, by Nebuchadnezzar, and he had this routine of praying 3 times a day, you know. But here we're not even speaking about praying, we're not even speaking about what happened to him, you know, with the lion's den, you know, because everyone knows the story. No, we're not speaking about that. What I'm speaking about here is that, you see, guys, what happened here is the same thing, you know. When you find that the Old Testament people who were in the covenant with Daddy, they were secluded, but here they were taken outside to a different kingdom. And guys, this kingdom that they were taken to, or they were held captive by, had their beliefs. They were believing in different gods. So it's the same thing with us. When Jesus was on the cross, you know, he was no longer dealing with only the physical Israelites, because all of us, because he was now dealing with, you know, all his sheep, you know, they were scattered throughout the ends of the earth, you understand, you know, just like you are, you know, if you obey his commands. Now, what happens is that you are not secluded. You are living among a people, you know, among people that, guys, among people that have different beliefs. Guys, you're living among Muslims. You're living among people who worship Buddha. You understand? You're living among people who worship ancestors. You know, you're living among people who love the things of the world. You're living among people who love money. Guys, you're living among people who worship other people. You understand? And we are not secluded as if like we were put in a different place so that we cannot be, you know, thrown to and fro by these cunning beliefs and all. But we are scattered, you know, throughout the earth, living among these people. Yet we were expected to live by the commands of the kingdom of heaven. Why? Because we belong to the kingdom of heaven. You see, with Daniel, he belonged to the Israelites. Yes, you understand? And they had their own laws, you understand? And because Daddy was punishing and all, you know, and he allowed Nebuchadnezzar to capture them, you know, he did not expect them to give in to their gods and do what they were doing, you understand? And believe what they were believing. But you find this dude is willing to die, you understand? He says, I am going to do this no matter what. I do not care. I am going to do this. If you kill me, so what? Because there were these guys, prefects and all, they're called prefects, advisors and all, you know, governors who were jealous of Daniel because the king actually loved Daniel, because Daniel, guys, was able to interpret certain dreams for the king, and the king realized that, damn, Daniel's God is good, you understand? So the king actually loved Daniel. So these ones were jealous, and also they told the king to, to publish this decree and all, and everyone must pray to him, and the king was not really into that. Nevertheless, you read the story, it's found in Daniel chapter 6, but what I'm talking about here, guys, in this very short one, is that, you belong to the kingdom of heaven. You have the Bible as your laws. The laws of this earth, guys, are not your laws. Guys, the laws of the kingdom of heaven, guys, they are not against any law of this place we are living here, but they are not the same. How do I mean? Guys, here, loving money is a success story, you are a blessing, but in the kingdom of heaven, we're not supposed to love money. You understand? But if you don't love money, you won't be killed here. I don't know, guys, if you understand. In the kingdom of heaven, if you love the things of the world, you'll be kicked out. Why? Because they are not blessings for you. They are blessings for those who belong to the kingdom of the earth, the kingdom of darkness. But if you don't love the things of the world, you won't be jailed here in this kingdom. Why? It's not their law. For them, it's not the law. Guys, here, for instance, in the kingdom of heaven, having sex outside marriage, you'll be kicked out of it after knowing the truth. Why? It's not allowed. But here, you can have sex anytime, anywhere. Nobody cares. You understand? It's your business. So if you don't have sex outside marriage, you won't be jailed. I don't know, guys, if you understand what I'm trying to say. So whatever we are doing is not against their laws. Our laws actually are stern and righteous laws. Theirs aren't. So if you don't love money, if you don't love the things of the world, if you're not a drunkard, if you don't have sex outside marriage, you won't be jailed for doing all those things. So their laws are not like are not like our laws, but our laws are stricter. They are very stern. You understand? So you need to live by the laws of the kingdom of heaven, not their laws. You won't go to jail by obeying the laws of the kingdom of heaven, even though you are abiding in this kingdom of darkness. I don't know, guys, if you understand. Now, you'll find people who claim to be Christians, people who actually go to church. They are the ones who are doing these things because the earth is not against this kingdom, not understanding that the earth and the kingdom of heaven are two different kingdoms. Two different kingdoms. The one is a kingdom of light, the other is a kingdom of darkness. Guys, I always say this, here on earth, guys, there is no advert. You understand, guys? There is no advertisement. We don't apply to enter earth. So people simply have sex and we find ourselves here. So anything goes here. There's no requirement. But to enter that kingdom after you are here, there are requirements. There are requirements to enter the kingdom of heaven. Guys, that one is very important. There are requirements. That's what I want to speak about. There are requirements to enter the kingdom of heaven. Here, some people have sex and you just enter. You pop up. That's why you find lousy parents. Because nobody goes to school and say, well, I'm educated now, I can be a parent. You can simply, guys, I'm telling you, you can just fall dead there and have sex. And you wake up pregnant. It's not even a blessing. It's just a natural progression. And then you'll have a child. That's why you'll find lousy parents like this because of that. But to enter the kingdom of heaven, guys, there are laws. You can't just enter there. There are laws. So you need to obey the laws of the kingdom of heaven because you can't just enter there. You can't just say, oh well, here on earth it's allowed. It's not allowed in the kingdom of heaven. If you want to enter the kingdom of heaven, you better stop doing it because you're not going to enter heaven. You might rule here. He doesn't care. It's Satan's playground. He doesn't care. Anything goes here. You'll find anything here. But to enter there, you find people say, my mother is there, my father is there, my brother is there. You might love them if they did not obey that man, even if they were saved. If they did not obey that man, they can't enter there. Why? He has his laws because there are requirements to enter the kingdom of heaven. So even if you are here, don't play games. Don't play games because he doesn't play games. If you do that, you will find yourself get kicked out of the kingdom of heaven. So guys, I wanted to speak about that. Thank you.